Hello, this is my video on vaccination and immune response. COVID-19 has plagued millions of people around the world. It's been classified as a respiratory disease, which includes, but is not limited to, the symptoms of shortness of breath, loss of taste or smell, fever, coughing, chest pains, and discoloration of skin in some areas of the body. There have already been many variants of COVID-19, including the latest, Omicron. The first vaccines that were made were available from Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. Pfizer and Moderna vaccines require taking 2 doses 4 weeks apart. The reason for the 2 doses has to do with our body's immune system or our body's immune response system. Our bodies have a primary immune system and a secondary immune system. Our primary immune system response includes production of antibodies, which is in response to the emergence of an antigen. Once the antigen is recognized, the lag phase takes place approximately 4 to 7 days. The levels of antibody reaches its peak around the 7 to 10 day mark. However, even in a 7 to 10 day span, the antibodies produced are relatively low and appear in the lymph nodes and spleen. Large amounts of IgM and small amounts of IgG are produced. IgM is the antigen receptor on B cells and is the first antibody produced in immune response, whereas IgG is the main type of antibody found in the blood and extracellular fluid. Secondary immune response refers to any response after the first response to the same antigen. In the secondary response, the lag phase is much shorter. It's about 1 to 4 days. And the antibody level reaches its peak in 3 to 5 days. So, in comparison to the primary immune response, the secondary immune response is much faster. Large amounts of IgG and small amounts of IgM, IgA, and IgE are produced. IgA acts as the first line of defense in the resistance against infection by means of inhibiting bacterial and viral adhesion to the epithelial cells and neutralization of a virus, for example. IgE is the least abundant of the antibodies, but it helps to activate the mast cells and the basophils. With that being said, the secondary immune response can produce hundreds of times more antibodies than the primary immune response, and their longevity remains for much longer. This is because the secondary antibodies show affinity, high affinity to their antigens, whereas in the primary immune response, they show low affinity. Thus, in short, the reason there are 2 doses of the COVID vaccine is that our bodies, in short, the reason that there are 2 doses of the COVID vaccine is that it gives our bodies time to produce a robust response to the virus should we encounter it in nature after we have been exposed. Lastly, I would like to point out that the vaccines for the Pfizer and Moderna are mRNA vaccines and do not contain any of the live virus, whereas the Johnson & Johnson uses a weakened live pathogen. Recent research shows that the Pfizer came out first and it had the highest efficacy, but it turns out so far in the long term that the Moderna is the most effective. Thank you. Have a good day.